welcomed inside Santa Cruz. I'm Joyce Anderson, and you are?
I'm Rick Martinez. I'm Deputy Chief of Police with the City of Santa Cruz Police Department, and I'm also the current board chair for the Santa Cruz County chapter of the American Red Cross.
And I'm Janaea Kelly, the new CEO of the American Red Cross here in Santa Cruz County.
And I want to thank everybody, and also this is a great event today. This is the Santa Cruz Red Cross honoring all our local heroes.
My name is Caresta Salas, and I work with the Watsonville Police Department, and I oversee the Watsonville Police Activities League, or better known as PAL. PAL is a phenomenal organization. It's nationwide, and I'm fortunate to run the chapter here in Watsonville. And our program serves between 400 and 500 youth annually. And we do programming anywhere from martial arts on a weekly basis to field trips that take youth outside the community and expose them to, other opportunities that they may not necessarily have an opportunity to do with family or friends. These programs are definitely important because we give them an outlet to be able to come to after school hours and on weekends, and we give them just a safe haven to be themselves and to be able to strip away, those worries and concerns that they may be holding within themselves while at home or while at school, so they can come and confide in not only myself, but the team of individuals that I work with. And I'm fortunate that we've been able to bring on great staff that have been with me for years, and these kids definitely look up to these adults as mentors. I'd also want to mention our cadet program, which is definitely an important program, not only for this event, because as you guys had the pleasure of seeing them open up the ceremony today with the color guard, they've been doing this for several years, and this program itself definitely is a great way for youth to get exposed to law enforcement, which is definitely something that kids don't necessarily always have the opportunity to do. And I want to acknowledge, those youth sitting in the audience today that took time out of their day to come and be able to be a part of this great event. And I also want to thank the Red Cross, for hosting this event and also for recognizing heroes of our community on an annual basis.
My name is Phil Kaplan. I'm a volleyball instructor at Cabrillo, retired. I work in the kinesiology department on a part-time basis and just teaching beach volleyball for Cabrillo right now. I spent about 30 years there at Cabrillo and just love volleyball. I've been teaching it since 1978. I also teach tennis and hiking as well. Those are my primary sports. The $70,000 we have raised through all kinds of different ways. The students pay a tournament fee to play in a series of tournaments that I call No Attitudes Allowed, and the idea is to connect people in the community, and the money is all donated to local nonprofits in town. We also are on a treasure hunt all the time. We're collecting old cell phones that we've collected 3,400 of them now, and we get from $1 to $50 each for those, and all that money is donated to the Orangutan Conservancy, who has an office here in Aptos. We collect energy bar wrappers. Those are things like Larabar, Power Bar, Cliff Bar. We've collected over 30,000 of those alone. Students just bringing them in, Small electronics. We used to get paid for corks. A lot of wine drinkers in Santa Cruz, and in a 2-year period, we collected over 50,000 corks, and we got 2 cents each for those. So you figured out how much that is. Is that $1,000? It's a lot of corks, but anyway, it's a way that we raise funds, get students involved with it, and it's just so much fun for everyone involved, especially me, to be involved in the middle of all this. I wanted to say thank you to the Red Cross for nominating me for this. I feel humbled by it because really there's so many more people doing things out here in the community, way more than what I'm doing. I'm just trying to work in my own little pond right here and kind of make things happen. But there are a lot of unsung heroes here in our community. So thank you to the Red Cross.
My name is Darren Pashota, and I'm a resident of Scotts Valley, California, and I'm also a firefighter for Santa Clara County Fire Department. I'm a deputy chief there. been there for many years. This Friday morning was unlike no other morning that I usually have in my house. It's with my family running around and me being on one of my lucky days off. And I saw my neighbor Jill, and she was screaming for me to come help. She had sent her son up. So I kind of gathering myself, I ran up to my car because I have a first aid kit, and so I grabbed the first aid kit and ran down, not knowing exactly what was wrong. It ended up being a gentleman, but I realized immediately that he wasn't breathing. I realized immediately, I assessed for a pulse, and he had no pulse. And I knew right away that I needed to roll him over because he was kind of slumped over. So I rolled him over. I asked if somebody had called 911 and activated the 911 system they had. I kind of was trying to get somebody to help. So Jill, my neighbor, I kind of barked at her a little bit and said, come help me. And so I laid him in such a position that I could check. I had a mask with me, and I opened up his airway, assessed again, opened up his shirt, and I grabbed her hands and I literally put her hands on top of his chest and said, "Start compressions." Was that the fire department showed up in a timely manner. They started, an intravenous IV on the gentleman, and they got their machine and hooked up, and we shocked him a couple more times. That paramedicine type of action was huge for him, ultimately surviving. Well, I think it's a complete honor that I've been given this great award. I think that everybody should know CPR. I know my neighbor Jill has since taken CPR class, and I think one of the most important things that has happened with me and in my own organization is they have supplied all of our vehicles, being that I'm a deputy chief and drive my car all the time. Automatic defibrillator and is in my car because of this is one of the many reasons why we have those now. So I want to thank you. It's an honor, but it's not just me, it's everybody who responded. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vince Seniceros with Comcast Cable. I work for Comcast Cable, and I would have never thought that I would have had to be in such situations, but it happens. It happened to me. I was rolling out to a truck or to a service call up in Boulder Creek, and I always make a phone call to let the customers know that I'm on my way and to be ready. And it just so happens this customer just couldn't piece together a sentence. He was getting to be incoherent. And when I got there, he was actually going through diabetic shock. And as it turns out, I was able to ask his neighbor if they knew him, and they did, and they said that he was a diabetic. That's how I found out for sure. And we were able to give him something sweet to drink and call 911. And by the time they got there, they had given him a shot of some sugar substance. And as it turns out, they said that, and he told me that we had saved his life. And just hearing his voice say that was pretty good. So not only that, but a week later, I was up on my way to Bonnie Doon, up on Ice Cream Grade, and as it's a remote area with no cell service, and it just so happens there was a car coming up towards me, and I saw that it was driving on the edge towards the ravine, that it's pretty steep in that area, and it was a little white car that went right over the cliff, right in front of me, and I couldn't believe it, but it happened. As I was ready to go down, a motorcycle just happened to come up, and I told him to go up to the fire department and to get them down as quick as possible. As he took off, I went down, and I was able to get on top of the car. It was kind of precarious. When I opened the door, it was a young 23-year-old, and it just so happens I have a 23-year-old daughter. And she was able to come out and get her up to the top, and she didn't have any broken bones, just some minor lacerations, and she turned out to be okay. I'd also like to thank the Red Cross for giving me this honor also.
My name is Cheryl Samios, and I am the academic support specialist at Pacific Collegiate School. My role at school Pacific Collegiate is a school that has very high expectations of the students, and what I love about my school is we have just a huge support program and a huge support effort to help students meet the expectations and exceed. And so my role at school is to run programs that help support students both academically and socially. Academically, I run the Academic Base Camp, which happens in the summer. It's a 2-week math and English program to help students address gaps in their learning before they start on the first day of school, to help them acclimate to the school, get to know some of their teachers, and it makes it so they can hit the ground running on that first day of school. Every single 7th grader takes our study skills and technology course, and that course offers support in things like note-taking, test-taking strategies, multiple intelligence. It teaches kids how to learn or how to be effective learners. So I want to thank my colleagues, the parents, the kids who give me so much. And truly, I'd like to thank the Red Cross for recognizing the importance of education, and I'm just deeply honored. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Tanai Greninger. I am 14 years old and I go to Aptos Junior High. So it was a fun day at Real Del Mar Beach with my best friend and her little brother and his friend and her mom. And we were just tanning on the beach and the boys were in the water. And her mom began to be a little bit nervous because they had drifted out. And so she asked if I would go grab them, and I didn't have my wetsuit on or anything, but you know, what are you gonna do? You gotta just go out there anyways. So I just grabbed one of their longboards that they had there, and I just paddled out, and I didn't have enough room to fit myself on the board with them because they were panicking, and the boy farthest out was just screaming, and it was pretty hectic, and his head was starting to go under, and he wasn't that great of a swimmer. So I decided to put him on first, then put the boy who was closest in on second, and I just put them on the board. And I put my hand on the back of the board and just pushed them and then swim and push them and swim until we got to the shore. And when they got on the shore, they were just really wiped out, and the boy just pretty much collapsed on the beach, and it was definitely something. So I'm just really glad that they were okay and that everything worked out. I think that junior lifeguards really helped me in this situation because the program is just really great, and it just lets you have this comfort when you're in the water, and it just gives you the confidence to just go out there. And I'm just always feel really comfortable in the water. I was always been like a water baby, so the program I would definitely recommend to anybody who even wants to go in the water, because it's not just for, you know, these circumstances, but also just for if you're not really comfortable in the water, or if you want to get like really fit, it's just a really good program to go and have fun in. I definitely want to thank the Red Cross for this honor. It's really big, and this is just so nice, and I really appreciate it.
In 1992, a group of veterinarians, medical doctors, and animal protection volunteers came together to form a nonprofit organization that would address issues affecting the animals in our society. We decided to name the organization the Center for Animal Protection and Education, CAPE. Over the past 22 years, CAPE has helped thousands of animals by providing rescue, sanctuary, and advocacy. Our special needs dog rescue program based in Santa Cruz, California, continues to foster and adopt animals taken from overcrowded shelters, finding them loving, permanent homes.
Hi, my name is JP Novick. I'm the Executive Director and the co-founder of the Center for Animal Protection and Education. When we created CAPE more than 22 years ago, it was our mission to establish an organization that helped inspire people to recognize the inherent value of every living being. CAPE's philosophy encompasses the ideal that every animal has a right to live out their full and natural life free from suffering. I would like to thank the Red Cross for giving me this esteemed award. And on behalf of all the animals that we work so hard to protect and the wonderful volunteers at CAPE, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Jim Basso.
And I'm Jerry Ann Basso.
And we've been involved in the boating world in Santa Cruz since 1969, when we got involved with the Sea Scout program. And we've been active ever since in that. Not only have we experienced our own great Monterey Bay, but we've also done trips down to Catalina, trips up to Sacramento, and in 2004 we went to Hawaii. We do have both young men and young women involved, so we're both involved so that they both can participate at the same time, part of the rules of scouting these days. Born and raised here, working our community, we found that the rewards in working in our own community have been great, have been wonderful. We always seem to find and re-educate ourselves over and over again as to what can be done to improve and enjoy the area that we live in.
In Sea Scouts, the ship sleeps 18, so we have female quarters for 4 and the crew of 12, and then we have 4 staterooms for adults. We often do cruises teaching safety. We attend the Sea Scout event in San Francisco Bay at the U.S. Coast Guard Station, where they have safety at sea. We like to think that our kids are being educated towards a field in Cal Maritime or U.S. Coast Guard. We enjoy their company and feel that we're educated as well as them being educated. I'd like to thank all the people that we volunteer with. They meant so much to me and brings such joy.
My wife and I both would like to thank the Red Cross for this honor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. My name is Lori Butterworth, and I am the founder and executive director at Jacob's Heart Children's Cancer Support Services and the co-founder of the Children's Hospice and Palliative Care Coalition and the Youth City Council program. In my life, I've had the incredible opportunity of meeting, working with young people and children who need the support of the community. And fortunately, our community here locally has rallied behind youth and children in ways that are extraordinary. In 1998, when Jacob was diagnosed with cancer, our community rallied around and started an organization that has become a nationally recognized organization. Jacob's Heart Children's Cancer Support Services has served 520 children with cancer and their families from King City up to Scotts Valley, including parts of Santa Clara County too. And that has been possible because of the dedication and compassion of this community. We put the word out that these children with cancer and their families need support, and we have been extremely successful. At Jacob's Heart, now we are able to implement those programs and make them make a real difference in the lives of children here. And it's been extraordinary. And I'd really like to thank our community, the community as a whole, and the Red Cross's role in this community to make Santa Cruz County one of the best places to live, not just because of our beautiful climate, because of the beautiful people who care so much about our children and our youth. So it is an honor to receive this award, and I'm very, very grateful on behalf of all of our youth and children. Thank you.
I'm the Chief Medical Director at Hospice of Santa Cruz County. I'm a family medicine physician with training in hospice and palliative medicine. And I've been working at Hospice of Santa Cruz County for 3 years, serving patients and families in this community patients with a less than 6 month prognosis, so that are at or near the end of their life. It's a time, of course, that no one is looking forward to, but as much as we can support people in their decisions to have the circumstances around their death be those that they would most desire.
I've been a nurse since 1974, diploma in Vienna, and I've been with this agency, Hospice of Santa Cruz, now since 1988. And I have done work in the field, worked directly with patients and families for many years before I have become the patient services coordinator, and then the title changed to team leader. So currently I lead a team of nurses, social workers, and chaplains, so they can support patients and families in their homes, in residential care facilities, as well as in skilled nursing facilities. Okay. So they can provide the services, and they can bring our philosophy and care to our patients and families out in the community.
I am honored to mark 30 years of work with hospice and 27 years with Hospice of Santa Cruz County. My current role is a team leader, same as Emmy, and I'm hold that kind of behind the scenes work of supporting the team, nurses, social workers, chaplains, and hospice aides, of doing their incredible hands-on work out in the field with patients and families. People frequently say, how can you do that work? And honestly, I find it life affirming to have the opportunity to kind of walk hand in hand with people that are dying, even behind the scenes, has an impact on how I live my life, and that's the gift of working with hospice.
And thank you especially to the Red Cross for this honor as a medical hero. We appreciate it very much and are touched. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Dean Kaufman. I'm the Santa Cruz County Veteran Advocate. I've been in this position for the last 4 years. This July will be 4 years. I served in the Texas Army National Guard for a couple of years in '86, right out of high school, and then went on active duty from 1989 to 1993. Served in the Army on active duty in Germany, deployed to Saudi Arabia for the first Gulf War, and ended my commitment in the Army in Fort Ord, California. But I do outreach with veterans wherever they are, so I will find them sometimes along the river at various locations, working with various agencies throughout the community, make sure that we find them and get them the services they need. It's been a real honor and a privilege to work with veterans during this time. Recently, the VA has afforded more resources for veterans than they ever have in the past. So the VA's 5-year plan to end homelessness began in 2009. And in our community, it's really been a great program with the HUD-VASH that we've done. Over 160 veterans in those voucher programs now, as well as other resources for veterans, finding them, incarcerated veterans. In the time that I've been working as the veteran advocate, I've helped about 1,000 veterans in the community, and I've done that by partnering with many agencies and getting to know a lot of the local resources and facilities within our community. So I've had a great partnership with those community providers. And one of the great things that's happened recently is the reopening of the Veterans Memorial Building downtown. And we're looking forward in the future to having a very outstanding community of services that are offered to our veterans here locally, and partnering with even more agencies and creating more programs for those veterans here. So I'd like to thank all the folks that I've worked with in the community. It's been an honor and a privilege again to work here in Santa Cruz County for our veterans, and I'd like to thank the Red Cross for this nomination.
So we responded to the call. We initially went to the location where the police officers had been shot. As we got there, ambulances and another fire engine and another ambulance all arrived pretty much all together. There were police there. We didn't know what was going on. It was a shooting.
We really didn't know that we had officers down until we actually saw them, and it took me a moment to realize who they were and to recognize that they were actually friends of mine, co-workers of my wife.
It was a horrible scene. Worst thing I've ever seen in my life. We left. We were removed by the police officers. It was a dangerous place for us to be. We realized that they hadn't found the bad guy yet. I asked the police officer, "Are we safe here?" He's like, "You probably need to move." So we relocated to sort of the outside of the perimeter of what the police department had set up for the perimeter. We stayed there because for the potential for further injuries. We're there primarily as a medical service. That's why we're there.
5-10 seconds after we exited the truck, the white car came down towards us and basically came right towards me, and probably about 10-15 feet in front of me made eye contact with the shooter. And
it happened right above us. It happened, we literally ran behind the truck to guard ourselves from the flying bullets. And we did help Patricia, and Clayton did the bravest thing in the world. I mean, we were running, Clayton over her.
We all turned to run, and unfortunately Patricia, she tripped and went down. And with the loud gunfire and the chaos of the scene, understandably, you know, she was frozen to the ground. And you know, so my decision was just to stay there with her until the gunfire ended. And unfortunately, it seemed like the gunfire went on forever. The quick response by Officer Shields, Sergeant Garcia, Officer Clark, and I believe it's Officer Fish or Sergeant Fish from the Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Department. You know, they often say that firefighters run into burning buildings while other people are running out. Well, in this case, I've never heard it said before, but I want to say it now. Police officers, you know, run toward bullets while other people are running away, and that's what those four did that day.
It's very humbling, and we're honored to have this award. It's a humbling experience. It's hard to feel excited about it. It's such a bad day, but I truly do believe that the true heroes were the officers that day, the four officers that stepped into the hail of bullets and took down that villain. So.
We'd all like to thank the Santa Cruz Red Cross and the American Red Cross for this honor. I would like to thank Patricia for nominating us. It truly is an honor. I would also like to thank the community for the support that we've received from the day this happened. We're still receiving community support, and without that, we probably couldn't have gotten through this, so thank you very much.
One thing I learned today, which I think all of us will learn, is that Vincent Cisneros, that Comcast technician, I think now we know why they gave us that 4-hour window. From a small house fire that affects one family to a vast wildfire that can affect thousands of families. The Red Cross responds, it shows up, it serves with shelter, food, health and mental health services, and it does this without discrimination, without hesitation, or without reservation. And that's something the Red Cross has been doing right here in Santa Cruz for over 116 years. In 1898, the same year that Clara Barton, the founder of the Red Cross, was storming the front lines of the Spanish-American War, 10 other heroic women in this city got together, donated $1 each, and formed the Santa Cruz chapter of the American Red Cross. And since then, that chapter has reached out to thousands and thousands of people, helped them help themselves, and they've been helping their families, and they've been helping this community. But as you know, ladies and gentlemen, they haven't done it alone. It's taken the tremendous service of its volunteers, and it's taken the generous donations of people like you. That's why I'm asking you to donate to the Red Cross today.